beloved play turns into a heartwarming film that's currently trending on Apple TV. I'm talking about Karan Soni's A Nice Indian Boy, directed by Roshan Sethi. When Naveen brings home his fiancée Jay to meet his traditional Indian family, they need to accept his choice and help plan the Indian wedding of their dreams.
You guys made a wonderful film. There's a lot of heart, a lot of soul, which is kind of rare these days, so congrats. What kind of feedback have you guys been getting?
Yeah, the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. It's been, I would think for both of us, the thing that most people have reached out to us about and want to talk about. And even in person, we did a lot of festivals for this movie, I think over a dozen. And so we got to go to a lot of those. So in person, we got a lot of feedback. And then since the movie's been out in theaters and now on demand, we get messages almost daily. Roshan and I are trying to do this thing where we're trying to be really present and really make sure we don't take it for granted. So sometimes we'll slip into being like, oh, look, another nice message. And then we'll have to remind each other and be like, but this is cool. Like, this is so much of our story. And we made this project with so much of our heart and it's connecting with people. So it's like a very, very nice feeling.
Tell me how you feel. Looking like
Do you watch a lot of foreign films?
Looking like a snack, looking like a whole meal.
I'm adopted. I was raised by Indian parents. Theirs was the first film where I felt like I belonged.
The film is based on a play. Roshan, what made you decide to turn it into a film, and how different or similar is it to the play?
I didn't decide. The play was optioned, which has been performed since 2014, was optioned by Levantine Films, which is a production and financier. And they hired Eric Randall to rewrite it into a movie. The play is by Madhuri Shekhar. Eric wrote on the script and then sent to me for consideration to direct and Karan for consideration to act in. And then the two of us together did work on the script to add elements of our own experiences, gay South Asians. And then that became the movie. So it was a huge collaborative effort involving many people. But much of what really works about the film owes everything to the play, which is really an extraordinary piece of writing.
Baby, let me see it. I just wanna eat it.
What's new, Naveen? Got a boyfriend?
Let me see it.
My parents are super liberal. Just don't bring up drinking or sex. And no displays of physical affection.
At least this boy is Indian.
Karan, tell us about playing Naveen. I'm sure there were some aspects that were relatable, so how was it for you approaching that character?
Yes, it was so personal. I came out when I was 19 and we shot this movie when I was 34 maybe. So it had been a long time since a lot of those feelings, but it was very easy to kind of tap back into them. And the entire time making this movie for me, and I think for Roshan too, we just kept being like, I wish I had this movie when I came out or when I was going through certain things with my family. And that was always kind of at the top of my mind that we're getting to make that, and maybe someone will be able to watch this in 2025 when they need it. And that's really cool. And so a lot of that responsibility I felt while making it as well.
Where are you going?
Naveen, you should be with your family. You didn't tell them about me.
How do you expect us to react? Go off to live your own life. We don't know anything about you or your relationships, nothing.
You kind of have that thing where you look at him and you hear music.
I never said anything to you about music.
Are you telling me I'm wrong?
One of the things we've been really touched by is the number of uncles and aunties who've watched it. Reached out to us. A lot of uncles, a lot of aunties.
What do they say? What's their vibe?
The uncle and auntie responses are also very funny, as you would expect. Some of the random messages both of our parents get from other uncles and aunties who've seen the movie are like, I didn't want to watch this gay. I don't know. Everyone's cool with the gay thing nowadays. I guess I didn't want to be cool with it, but I like this movie. And you're like, wait, I'm so confused. Where do you stand?
That's what I love about DDLJ. It doesn't end with the couple getting together in the end, like in an American movie. Because it's not about two people going at it alone, clinging to each other like life rafts. It's about everybody together. The family, the wedding. Do you ever think about that?
Karan, I also wanted to talk to you about the DDLJ moment in the film. It was referencing this childhood moment for all of us, and you got your Bollywood moment during the song with the dancing. What was that like?
It was so fun. When the DDLJ is originally from the play, and then it was in every version of the movie script. And to be honest, myself, I was like, we're making an independent movie. We're not going to get the rights to this. So it in my head been like, there's just no way this is going to happen. So I didn't study any of it or look at any of it. And then eventually, Aditya Chopra did end up giving us the permission to use the footage and all of that. And it felt really cool. And then recreating the little bit of the song was so fun because watching that over and over again and kind of trying to mimic some of Shah Rukh's expressions, it's so dramatic. And I was playing such a shy character, like I was saying, but that was like the one day I could ham it up. So I was really soaking in all the hamming up and getting to make all sorts of faces.
Jake Arundhakar, I have historically hated making dramatic displays. I find them mortifying. Isn't this mortifying? But this is something I need to say as loudly as possible. You are beautiful, you are wise, and you are brave. And I'm lost without you.
Speaking of nice Indian boys, you guys are nice Indian boys. Take us through your story. Roshan, how did you and Karan meet? What made you guys connect?
We met through an app called Raya, which is horrible and has never worked for anyone until we met. And we're the only successful partnership that has ever emerged from that dating app, other than the first AD of this movie, who met her girlfriend on the app too. I had just come out only recently. Then I met Karan, and then we started dating. And in the beginning, I was struggling with all kinds of things, including having just come out and not knowing what it was to be in a relationship with another guy. And then we figured it all out and have been together for years and years, since 2018.
We think it's wonderful that you're white.
Seriously?
What?
No, I'm just glad our mother is being so wonderful and liberal and an open-minded soul, welcoming my brother's new lover.
No, we can just say boyfriend.
In the movie, when we worked on the script, one of the things we wanted to infuse the first date scene with was a lot of our dynamic. But in real life, I was the Jonathan Groff. I didn't sing at him, but I pretty much was very enthusiastic. And he was not. Roshan was not as enthusiastic. And our 4-hour date ended with a handshake from that he initiated. So we were trying to recreate and bring some of that energy into the first date scene. So I got to play a version of Roshan.
When Kajol is resigned to her fate that she's going to be forever separated from the man she loves, she is at her lowest moment and she hears the cowbell, and then there he is. And then he stands there in the middle of all those yellow flowers and he sings. Tujhe dekha toya jana sanam.
I want to ask you guys, is it interesting going from like partnership in different stages? So romantic partners, professional partners. How do you guys navigate that?
The thing that Roshan always says, which is interesting, is usually couples don't get to see the other person at work because you often go to work and you do your thing. They don't see how their coworkers look at them. And in the best case scenario, you are working with your partner and you're like, oh, cool. Like they're so respected. Like on the set, Roshan was so respected as a director. Everyone loved working with him. And you feel a sense of pride. You go like, oh, that's, you know, who I'm with. And that it's like a nice thing to get to see what someone does away from home at work. And Roshan, you know, he's barely watched anything I've been in. To date, people will come up to me on the street and recognize me from things. And he's like, what's that? And he truly doesn't care, doesn't look it up. And the first time we worked on 7 Days, I did like a few scenes, and then in front of the whole crew, he just said, I didn't realize you were good. And I didn't know how to answer that or if it was in a question. So, you know, I've gained a lot of respect from him working with him because I think prior to that, he truly thought I'd do nothing.
It's shelter in place?
No, he doesn't seem gay.
Oh, God. I love your place. Now that my career is in such a good place, I'll get married this year, have kids a year after that. We'll all live with my mother. Are you okay with 3?
Yes.
I can also do 2.
I went on YouTube and I searched Karan Soni clips because I was like, let me just clip it out and just kind of get the biggest thing. And the thing I found that was my favorite was him in Ghostbusters when he plays a Chinese restaurant delivery man. And I thought, when I watched that movie for the first time in theaters, I thought that was a Latino actor who was very talented. I did not know it was Karan. I rewatched it and I was like, wow, that was one of the funniest things I've seen. It's still one of my favorite scenes he's ever done.
You know they make smaller headphones now, right?
It's an advance in science. Thank you for asking. Probably the future you're looking at. Here you go. Why don't you show Miss Gilbert to the door?
Oh, it's just the same door we came in from.
Yeah, no, I know
It's
how to
really
get
not
it.
that
It's
hard.
figured it's a... No, I'm okay.
Don't.
I tried.
poorly.
We kind of spoke about it a lot already, but one final message. What do you want to tell people that they can expect to walk away with after they watch this movie?
What's special about the movie is that it's something you can watch with your family. And oftentimes I have a hard time nowadays finding something I can watch with my family. But this is a movie that we've watched it in so many theaters, and so many people have watched it with their spouses, but also their parents and kids. And it really is a movie that there's something in it for everyone. So if you want a bonding experience, I would recommend watching it with your family. And it's nice to have something kind of like old school Bollywood that you can all watch together.
A big wedding party with all of the people we love. I want the same thing with you.
My only gay son is getting married?
Always surprising me, my only son.
I think a lot of people are a little embarrassed by the bigness of love. The family, the wedding, it's about everybody together.